Yeah, alright, it's ready when you're ready.
Ready when I'm ready. Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to TyMarquis TV. Y'all, too soon?
That too soon?
Okay, got it.
So that didn't talk.
Got it, boom. Welcome back to TyMarquis TV.
Take it again. That was too slow.
Okay. Welcome back to TyMarquis TV. So listen, y'all. I know it's been a few weeks.
Another thing, you gotta look at the camera.
Okay.
Looking over there.
Got it. Welcome back to TyMarquis TV. Y'all, listen. I know it's been a few weeks. Life has been lifing in a good way, and we're back on the ones and twos. I'm about to start a docu-series today, and I'm so excited about this opportunity. Initially, it was supposed to be like a story time, but upon driving on the highway, having my little moment as a creative and, you know, listening to my music and stuff, I was directed to go another way. And we're gonna start this in a docu-series. It's gonna be a few different episodes to kind of cover the material that's needed. But I feel like it's gonna be very beneficial, not only to you, but to someone that you may share this with. So at this time, I like to tell you to like, share, subscribe. You know, make sure you are tuned in with the notification bell so that you can be a part of all things TyMarquis. And I look forward to just seeing y'all vibe out in the comments and build the community that we have on the way. So today's episode is called The Weight and the Gift. And the premise of this is going to be me talking about some of my purpose and my calling, just how we even got to this point, which is literally October 17th, 2025. And you know, though I'm born in 1993, the purpose part of my life really started at the age of 2, if you want to be honest. I mean, it really started at birth, if you really want to go there. But, you know, born in 93, I had the privilege to be born to a mom named Stacy and a father named Jimmy. My mother's side of the family has family in Connecticut, which is Stamford, Connecticut, and she used to go there for the summers. During the summer, she was grown, feeling herself, smelling herself, and she ran across my father. My father ran across her. The rest was history. And you got this first child that's here, and it happens to be somebody by the name of Tyshawn, you know? Moving forward, I was the only child for 4 years. 4 years later, here comes my beautiful sister, Tamia, and she's a bundle of joy. We have the brother and sister dynamic, which is really great during that time. This is the Barney era for all of my 90s babies. And it was just a really good time to be alive. VHS tapes, cassette players, DVD, portable joints. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was back then. The big boombox stereos, the whole nine. And, you know, life was sweet. I come from the country by way of the city. Having a mom from the country and a father from the city definitely gave me a nice somersault to life. It wasn't too much of either side, but, you know, no pun intended, the balance of it all really just made me who I am today, and I'm so appreciative for them. So then you have 4 years later, after Tamia is born, I'm 8. And then we have Tiana. Tiana is born with cerebral palsy. She's born premature. She's not diagnosed until 3 months of birth, though. So, speeding up the story, the rest will be in the book. My mom comes home with a disabled child from UVA Hospital. And mind you, my mom is already disabled with asthma and diabetes herself. She's been disabled since the age of 18. Fast forward back, she comes home with the disabled child. So you're talking about the blind leading the blind. And somehow, some way, I ended up with the spirit that ended up wanting to help her, to kind of help take the load off. You talking about grabbing baby bags, fixing bottles, you know what I'm saying? Like having to grow up a lot quicker than expected for somebody that's 8 years old. However, the journey of being responsible for my mom and sister and my family overall at that age truly shaped and molded me in a way that I avoided a lot of stuff that most people my age growing up would have kind of dealt with. Though I've had my share of experiences over the years, we'll talk about that in another episode. But it's just been very rewarding to be responsible for family. Let me just put that there. Growing up was bittersweet, my father was in and out because he is from the city. He went back for work a lot of times, and through different type of growing pains in the family, he was just in and out. So I spent a lot of time with my mom, a lot of time with grandparents, family and the like. So me helping my mom became a little bit more prevalent because my father wasn't always in the picture, though he was tangible. Fast forward, my mom's health started to pick up a little bit more because with having a disabled child, she's neglecting herself to take care of the disabled child and two other children that are not disabled, running a household on a fixed income, 1 check a month. You do the math, okay? So around the age of 9, 10, I'm kind of skipping the timeline with the hair thing, but 9, 10 years old is when I'm starting to see like relaxers being mixed. I'm seeing different family members do different things. I'm like, hey, I'm kind of digging this little hair thing. And I also used to get in trouble for playing with my sister's Barbie dolls. My father will have to deal with that later because he ain't paid for a hairstyle since. You feel me? But that's neither here nor there. I get into the hair thing by 12, and I started to make my own money for things that I wanted to have, like different type of notebooks in school or extra pieces in the cafeteria at lunch, because I was one of those. If you really from the 90s, you knew about Fruitopia, and we needed one of them too. So my mom being on the fixed income, me growing up around hustlers, my grandfather had me cutting grass at 10. My father was the shoe man, the DVD man, the street pharmaceutical dude. He was very much that. So I come from a bona fide family of hustlers, and me figuring out that hair was one of the things that I was blessed with, I'm like, all right, boom, we're gonna slide on this path. But you still have the reality of coming home to a mom that's not always okay and a sister that needs more attention than the other 2 children. So that's why I fall into play with helping my mom on the magnitude that I have over the years, because she needed the help, number 1. Number 2, I love my sister, both of them. But it was just during that time, Tamia always felt like she had the middle child syndrome situation, to where she was a little bit overlooked. And because I was the older one, being a little bit more of a helping hand, me and my mom created more of a bond over the years, which we did have naturally, but I kind of became like her support system, if for better terms. That caused issues with me and my father growing up, because now, one minute you got him saying, take care of the family, I'm about to be out, I need you to be the man of the house, this, that, and the third. Then 2 to 6 months later, he's back in the picture, and then you had this back and forth about who's the man of the house and who's not. And then I was one of those children that had to be handed a card of adulthood, but whenever certain things were working in certain people's favor, that adulthood card was snatched back. That brings me to some of the things that I deal with today. I avoid some of the things that I do not need to avoid because of sometimes I have picked and choose when I want to pull and pick that card of adulthood. And it has not been the worst experience, but sacrificing a lot of time for family is a big pill to swallow. You talking about a child that was being checked out of school for doctor's appointments, a child that was missing school because I had helped my mom the night before, or my mom didn't feel like getting up and getting us ready for school that day, so it's like, hey, y'all want to chill at the crib, and it's like, shit, you ain't saying nothing. But I take nothing from my journey, because without that, I feel like I would have had my hands in a lot more things that would have had me going in a different route. And it brings me to the point today, I'm still blessed with the opportunity to take care of my mom and sister, and I must say it has gotten much better over the years. I would like to go on a more of a caregiver tangent in another episode, because I don't feel like this is the time to really blend the two. But I truly feel like that there's an art to obedience being better than sacrifice. And I feel like me being there for my family is associated with obedience. And I don't know who this may be for, but don't feel bad about putting family first and everything else falling into place next. I feel like that it is a very rewarding experience to have God's favor in a space of abundance, to the point where you really don't have room to receive it, because I should not be in the place that I am today. But because of grace and mercy, a lot of prayer, a lot of patience, I feel as though my path is still being formed, but it could have been a lot worse than what it is. That being said, moving forward, I do see life being a little bit different one day. I don't want to always be in this per se caregiver space, but when it's associated with purpose, some things you really can't get away from, if you picking up what I'm putting down. But I have this underlying spirit of fear that I should not have in regards to my life not changing until my family is either in a nursing home or a facility, or me making enough money to be able to pay for 24-hour care or what have you, to be able to truly tap into the dreams that I see for myself. But it's like, what is really that plan? You understand? So I want to leave you on this note. I want you to take a step back as a caregiver, as somebody that's still passionate about their dreams, goals, and ambitions. Don't neglect the family, but still don't neglect your dream. It is very much a thin line between love and hate. And I need you to stay tunnel vision, stay focused, because if you're not okay, you're not being a 100% asset to your family anyway. And your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, all of those things are important when it comes to this caregiver role and still wanting to be impactful in today's community and society. So I would highly recommend you to find your peace, stay centered in the things that you truly believe that are beneficial to you, and do know that you are not in this alone. We are in this thing together. And I do know that the rest of my story is the best of my story, and I am so glad to bring you a part on this journey. I look forward to taking you on a bit more of a deeper dive in the next few episodes of this docu-series, and I feel like we're really going to get some things accomplished when it comes to empathy, patience, and purpose in this caregiver thing. I feel like sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes, even when you are a professional caregiver as a nurse or a doctor, CNA, paraprofessional, what have you, a lot of those things are taken lightly. And I am being called to bring a little bit more insight on the world of caregivers, So welcome back to TyMarquis. Thank you for tuning in today on the subject of the weight and the gift. I look forward to deeper diving into more things with you all soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.